Hey guys, Filthy here, talking about how to beat Schrats. So Schrats are one of the worst enemies in the game. They have a very high armor-piercing attack with decent accuracy, attacks in a line. It causes an unbelievable number of injuries. Schrats are a forest-based creature, so that oftentimes they will ambush you. There's not a lot of value in fighting Schrats. They are a creature, so a beast rather. So the stuff they drop isn't very good. It's used in crafting, and the craftable items you get from Schrats are particularly poor. In addition, because they run their defensive shield, which reduces damage until you've broken the shield, it requires fairly specific weapons to fight them. You have to have two-handers, of which have various efficiency in breaking shields, or axes to break shields. Overall, it's a really high-risk fight with super low reward. Late game, this is only 5 Schrats. This is fairly early game for this playthrough. But late game, Schrats move around in huge numbers, and large numbers of Schrats are particularly hard to deal with. With small number of Schrats, you can find positions that are defensive. So it's almost like a knight move in chess, right? The diagonals are bad, but the one up and one over tiles are actually safe versus Schrat attacks. Schrat attacks in a line that's 4 long. I think it's 4 long. It might be 3 long. I think it's 4 long in any given straight line. So if you can find a spot that's not in a straight line relative to them, that's a safe tile to stand on and to put, for example, a pike. The strategy for dealing with Schrats is you focus fire them one at a time using reach weapons generally is your best bet. And archers are okay versus them as well. But you have to break the shield repeatedly, which means you need a two-hander to break that shield. Indomitable is very good versus Schrats, and Nimble Brothers are very good versus Schrats because a lot of their damage is direct HP damage, and having those be reduced is very important. You can't stun Schrats, so it's a little bit frustrating because it would be one of these enemies that would be extremely beneficial to stun. And the weapon types that you want, you can't... Their armor, you can do damage through their shield, but the damage is very weak relative to that. So the weapon type you bring isn't as relevant as breaking the shields. So mostly what you want to bring is axes. Particularly long axes are very, very good versus Schrats because they reliably break the shields rapidly. Positioning, don't get in lines. Try to break the Schrats up. So I like to, if I can, this didn't happen here. This particular fight is an ambush formation. If I can, I love to put a mega holding like 2 or 3 Schrats in place far away from the rest of my group and just spam Indomitable each turn and just sit there and stay there and hold them be as I kill one at a time. If you're not given that option, you just roll with what you have. And understand you're going to be taking the damage. This is one of the reasons why this is a high risk, low reward fight. Oftentimes you will take wounds. The big issue with wounds is how long it disables your brother for. So by fighting Schrats, especially large numbers of Schrats, you're likely in a position where you are going to be unable to fight at full efficiency for up to a week on a number of different brothers. Battleforge is really the only way to build sustainable tanky brothers in the late game for a lot of the fights, and Battleforge is not particularly good versus Schrats. So if you have like early to mid game is probably the best, not very, very early game, but early to mid game is probably the best time to kill Schrats if you want to kill Schrats, because you can get their equipment, the stuff you can craft out of Schrat stuff, like the Schrat shield isn't very good. A lot of the stuff you get out of them just isn't very good. But if you do get it, it's better in the early game where it's actually going to be doing something for you as opposed to the late game where you don't care. And in the early game, you're likely to have more Nimble Brothers because your brothers just didn't have the fatigue to run heavy gear. Nimble can be used for that. The little stuff they spawn are fairly dangerous as well. They do okay damage and they also run that piercing stuff, but they're very easy to kill with no shields. If you do fully surround a Schrat, it can't spawn those little guys. I haven't done this myself, but I've been informed that this is how that works. You can see here as I try to just focus one at a time while stalling the other ones. You can see my tanks kind of positioning and posturing in a way to drag the Schrats off. This is true in Schrat fights, but true in a lot of fights. Oftentimes you can use people to bait them towards moving to you so you don't have to directly engage them. It will work for some period of time and delay it as we try to focus here and just kill them one at a time. Yeah, overall, this is probably, outside of legendary fights, this is probably my least favorite fight to take in the game because it's the lowest reward and highest risk fights that we take. So I tend to avoid Schrat fights as much as possible just because they're very difficult to deal with. And this is only 5, and this is an early game fight with 5, so our brothers are kind of bad here. But in the late game, you can see like 10 of them, and 10 Schrats is an absolute nightmare. They are super, super dangerous because there's no safe tiles. When you have a bunch of Schrats near each other, they protect all those like night locations, the up and overs, like the L formation to get to that. All those tiles are vulnerable because multiple overlapping Schrats cover those tiles for each other. Schrats are happy to shoot through each other. They're happy to shoot through their youngs to attack your people, and they will just cause insane amounts of damage for that. Pretty nasty fight overall. Don't recommend it very often unless you have some strong need of the Schrat crafting materials, which aren't very good. So anyways, guys, hopefully this was helpful. And hopefully it was mostly helpful in telling you to avoid this fight. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Smokey says, only you. 5 Schrats. No. No. That's a fucking ambush again. We just saw them. How is it an ambush? I get another beer. Back in a second. I did see your question earlier, Light. I just forgot to respond. Was it a Lagunitas? Yeah, I'm drinking Lagunitas right now. I sat there for like 30 seconds. Maybe a full minute in front of the cooler when I went to pick up supplies. If it was going to be a Lagunitas 12-pack or a Sierra Nevada 12-pack. I really liked Lagunitas for a while, and then I didn't get so excited when they sold. We probably just move south, kill this, and move on. It's going to take us 2 rounds to kill this. We don't have particularly great gear for this. We have 1 axe. All 2-handed weapons can break shields. You have to be able to break shields. We don't want to be caught by this. I don't know if they have Pathfinder. They might. They're supposed to be forest creatures. If they can fucking Pathfinder into us, we're going to lose an archer. Maybe 2 archers. Maybe all the archers. Oh, is this just a 1-tile choke all the way down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles long? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we call fucking absolute and total garbage. It's going to be very difficult to control my placement then. There's another one down here. Dude, we're going to lose people into this fight. Maybe time for a heroic sacrifice from Rusted Shovel. We'll see. We've been trying to get into heroic. We've been offering. We've been like, what about a heroic sacrifice? He's like, well, I don't know. We're like, how about now? Heroic's the best way to go. But a heroic sacrifice seems like it could be strong. With my noble sword? Can you heroic sacrifice with something a little bit less valuable? Oh, it didn't want to go that way. It's very interesting. Heroically sacrificing. Question is where? I don't know yet. Fucking Schrats. Wow, they really don't want to engage the guys with shields. It's very bizarre. I've never seen them behave this way. It's must be part of the ambush thing. Oh, it's not a thing. I thought it was a position. Alright. Should have scooted one over. It's a slight problem. Can lose my bannerman here. I realized I just shot that. I'm like, ah, that's not gonna work. Went for the kill, didn't go to protect himself. What kind of braking doesn't actually involve braking, so I wish we could stop that part. There we go, that's braking, as I know it. Trying to self-rescue a little bit here. Didn't happen. I don't really want to incentivize that attack. Oh, he shoots me through the trees. I saw the angle, but I'm like, I don't think he has line of sight on me. I should be fine. Apparently it doesn't make any fucking difference. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit dire. This thing, the little one, needs to die here. Why can't I see that one? Looks like a nearly clear line of sight. What? God, fucking useless archers. Tree there. I need this thing not to kill my Bannerman. I really don't want to bring the two-handed sword over there, but the Bannerman needs to live. Takes the high ground. What a dick. Fucking archer, huh? Free wounds for everybody. Come get your free wounds. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna lose the Bannerman. I'm gonna lose the Bannerman to these stupid fucking tree summons. Go get ambush, bro, right? Attacks his own guys. Do they ever hit their own guys? I've never seen them actually connect with their own guys. Oh, I don't have the stamina anymore. Oh, come on. We were fine. We were fine till this took our stamina, because we could have fucking escaped to there, moved to here, and rotated. Oh, that's not okay. Incoming chance at brain damage, maybe? There's no way this kills it. 45 to hit, and it won't kill. It's not gonna have the initiative go first. That's so disappointing. Two of the little scrubbers, too. That's bad. Dead. Was it struck down? No. He just killed our bannerman. Banner's like level 9. We have no one else to banners. Should have rotated the spear guy up, says a guy who doesn't understand the situation. Let me explain that situation to you. The spear guy doesn't have shit. He's here. It's 3 to rotate, 3 to move, 3 to rotate again. Does he have it? I don't think he had the stamina to do it. 50 to rotate plus another 4 on that? No. No, he doesn't have anywhere near that. He's like 30 stam off. But I mean, it's good just random second guessing. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Token monk. Token monk doesn't have anything resembling utility. Doesn't have. It's not a good enough character for that. I feel so bad. Like, we're actually fine right now. Like, this stupid Schrat ambush in the woods with a shitty spawn location where our archers can't do anything, our guys are out of position, has been okay. Except for the one summon that got shat out of this Schrat in the back, who ran around the side and catches our bannerman. I can't attack there because... Yes, the baby Schrat was playing the long game for sure. Frustrating. Okay. Feels like expansion made Pathfinder more valuable. No, Pathfinder's still a waste of a point. When you get randomly ambushed in fucking forests and swamps, you were like, oh man, I wish I had Pathfinder. Then every other time you have a fight, you're like, or you're actually engaged in a fight, you're like, man, I wish I didn't have Pathfinder and I had a combat stat that did something. That's why I don't bother with Schrats. Their loot is shit. And they give your guys a ton of wounds. Oh man, anyone except the banner, I think. I mean, the banner was a pretty shit bannerman as bannermen go, but we have a bannerman. This prevents our ability from engaging Geist ever again. Like, we have to get another bannerman before we can engage Geist reliably. And that's just, we just don't have one yet. We haven't seen one. I mean, it frees open the slot to get a monk for a bannerman, which is nice, but... That's annoying. Yeah, at this stage we could roll at a Adventurous Noble Bannerman. We're going to take whatever Bannerman we can get because it's more important to have a Bannerman than it is to have a Monk Bannerman. We already have a Monk in the team. But it's not where we want to be at no banner right now because we're in pretty good shape. We can't engage Warlords without a Bannerman either, and that sucks. Boo, he just regrew his armor. Yep, Cultist Bannerman's good, Monk Bannerman's good. There's a lot of low backgrounds that are totally useless except their events that also make good Bannerman. Because you don't need attack stats on Bannerman, you don't need melee defense on Bannerman. Headshot. Severe concussion. Wrecked. Did like no damage to his head and still did that. Ugh. I mean, we got our banner and our sash back, I guess. You can lose the sash if I understand correctly. And look, thank God we fought them. We've got 2 pieces of glowing resin and 2 ancient woods. And I got it. Well, let's not. I won't say that one on stream. All right. Fucking Schrat ambush.